Hey, it's Aurora with Lavender, Hazelwood Witches. I thought it would be cool to take a moment and talk about a question that I got. Hold on, let me go get my computer. I got it emailed to me. And I thought it would be a good kind of teaching moment because tis the season for this question. So somebody wrote to me and asked me about doing a house cleansing around Samhain to get rid of the old energy and bring in renewal and just a nice cleanse around the house. But their pet had recently passed. They didn't want to banish the energy from their pet. They wanted them to still be welcome and asked if I had any advice on that. And I just kind of took them through my own experience and what I do. I thought I would just kind of elaborate on that for you in case you have a similar question. So one thing is I have an ancestor altar so that I can connect with them quickly. It does include my human ancestors too, so it is sort of an all-encompassing ancestor altar. I use different candles to connect with each entity. That's not entirely true. Sometimes I combine them, but I use candles as a connection point, almost like a spirit house. So that is generally how I welcome them in. So because I have that, I feel like I have kind of a direct connection to them whenever I want. But what I suggested is if you're doing a smoke cleanse in the house or whatever you're using, if you're using herbs, maybe pick an herb that's like rose, because rose actually does attract spirits, and it's also gentle and high vibe. So it's good for a lot of things, but it keeps love within, and your connection to your ancestors that you've invited in is with love. So I actually feel like that if you're gonna smoke cleanse using a rose incense or rose petals is something that you could do instead of using sage or whatever else, whatever really strong banishing smokes you're gonna use. I know that a lot of people like to clear all of the bad energy out and then replace it with another energy, but if you create boundaries around who you're letting in, then that shouldn't be an issue. And there is a gateway that it's a shield that I really use for everything. And it goes like this. And you've probably heard me say it if you've watched any of the full moon ritual donation send-offs that I do. But it's, maybe I'll write it in the description for you too. But it goes like this. May the doors and the gates and the paths be open to all who wish to help and guide us. May the doors and the gates and the paths be closed to all who wish to do us or those we love any harm. So it is. And using that particular phrasing, I think is and precision around who is allowed in and who is not is effective. It lays the groundwork, it lays the intention, it lays the boundaries. If you do it with conviction, it should work out for you. It has for me so far. And I don't feel like I've lost touch with any of my ancestors. I feel like the altar is actually the point that keeps it alive at any given moment. The other thing you could do with your ancestor altar, if this calls to you, is you could put a circle around it as you're doing a smoke cleanse. So you could just make a circle around your altar with your wand, your finger, your intention, your visualization, whatever suits your fancy, and then keep that a protected place as a doorway, and then smoke out the rest of your house. So those are a couple of ways that you can do it. If you want to use a broom, you could just sweep everything out to around outside of the altar, if you're using a protective circle around it. So there are ways to get around it. I don't think you need to be afraid of losing your loved ones when you're doing a cleanse, because the connection is love, and that is that can't be taken away. It just can't. That's my 2 cents on it. I would actually love to hear if you've had any experience around this, and if you have any tips or tricks that you would give to the rest of us too. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys soon.